Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Angry and Ornery Show. We are very happy to have a rather colorful audience tonight. I'll get into that in a moment. But so you're not confused, we have taped 2 weeks in a row. That was because we skipped a show and we just got back on track tonight. So if you're keeping score, keep that in mind that we are now back on track and we will be taping every other Wednesday. So if you are watching this on live stream or on YouTube and you want to come in to the studio and see this show taped live, you need to join Second Life, create an avatar, contact me, Zoltan Mint, and we will help you get here. Also, the show is streamed live on Livestream. Go to livestream.com and you will be able to watch the shenanigans there as well. Finally, when the show is done and in post-production, we will put it on YouTube in about a day or so. Come to the Angry and Ornery channel on YouTube, and you can see all of our episodes. And I encourage you to leave comments, send us email, or do whatever you want. Communicate with us. Let us know what you think of our show. Without further ado, let's get Lionheart out here. Mr. Lionheart, please come out and join us.
901.
Guests are dropping in. It's raining guests.
Wow. How did I get over here so far? Where the hell am I? I'm in the audience.
Where are you? What are you doing in the audience?
I just flew in the audience somehow with weird, wicked lag.
That's very rude of you to be standing on our audience. So can you get up on stage?
I'm sorry. I'm trying my best.
What is wrong with you? You're like a damn drunk. Get up here.
I'm coming.
All right.
I'm taking baby steps.
Okay, then maybe that's the best.
What the?
What is your problem? Just turn around and walk to the edge of the stage.
All right.
All right. So
I'm going to sit down.
All right, then you sit down. I'll sit down with you because you're scaring me. Actually,
I don't know what is going on with me right now.
You've lost all dexterity and.
Yeah, I've just.
Can you at least get in the seat?
I'm sitting.
All right.
Am I sitting? Where did I go to? I don't even see myself anymore.
What's your poison of choice tonight? Are you drinking vodka straight?
I'm not even drinking.
Oh,
maybe that's the problem.
You know, you could have just said you were, so we didn't know really how ignorant you are.
Well, maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm a high-functioning alcoholic, and I need to actually have the alcohol to function anymore.
Okay. Well, anyways, so how have you been in a week?
My apartment flooded again.
Wow. Did you clog the toilet again?
No. Oh. I'm not really happy about it. It just kind of angers me. And this is like the 12th time it's happened. And I'm the only... And I've moved apartments, and it keeps happening. So I'm thinking maybe Jeebus hates me. So
I think it's ironic that your problem is water, and you live in a freaking
in the desert. Yeah, I know. That's the best thing. That's the best thing.
Anyways, so I've got a review of a movie. You got a review of a Second Life event, and we have a special guest tonight. Yay! We do.
Okay.
And we will get her out shortly. But so over the weekend, opening weekend, I went and saw the Avengers: Age of Ultron. Have you or were you?
No, but what is the Age of Ultron? Is he 10? What is his actual age? Why is it called Age?
Technically, he would be only a day old. But I don't want to give you any spoilers. So here's a review without spoilers. Our buddy Joss Whedon directs, of course, probably his last Avengers movie. At least,
yes, it is his last.
Right, that's what the fandoms and I think he announced.
Yep.
But there seemed like there was some difficulties near the end of this, and perhaps there was artistic differences. But one way or the other, he's gone. He did take some artistic license and changed a little bit of the storyline. Not major, but just like relationships and things like that. Drove my teenage daughter crazy, in fact. She's a big fan of the Avengers. Anyways, you have the same group back. Robert Downey Jr., as Iron Man, Chris Hemsworth, Thor, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, Chris Evans as Captain America, Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. New people that have joined in. Well, not new people, but I mean characters that have kind of drifted in and out of these movies, including Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. But we have James Spader, Don Cheadle, Elizabeth Olsen, who plays Scarlet Witch, Paul Bettany, who plays the Vision, and somebody I really like was this Aaron Tyler Johnson, who plays Quicksilver.
Yes, I like that kid.
Yeah, the actor himself, but the Quicksilver character and the Scarlet Witch I think, made the movie more interesting for me, because otherwise it was kind of the same old treadmill. You got a bunch of superheroes, you got the end of the world scenario, and of course they all have to get through their angst and anger at each other, join together and fight the bad guys. So although this is not a spoiler, I will tell you that, well, no. Although this is a spoiler, I will tell you that the Avengers fight bad guys and win. I guess you don't have to go see it now, right?
Well, there goes my $25 being spent at the theater.
Yeah, and you could easily do that too. I was a little disappointed that the special effects, the fight scenes, the action sequence, although wonderfully created, beautifully made, just stunning in 3D. I saw it in 3D. I would have liked to seen it on the big
IMAX
IMAX theater, right? But we don't have one near me. So, anyways,
sorry.
The fact is, it's video popcorn. You can sit there and just eat your snacks and watch it and not care about any type of plot or whatever, because it is stunning to watch. And they film it in such a way, like most action films, that you're going to buy it on DVD or rent it or stream it or whatever again, because you'll see things you didn't see the first time you saw it, just because the stuff goes by so fast. But what I don't like, or I didn't enjoy, was the fact that it was a very thin plot. And I know you can't pack in a lot of plot into movies like this. However, I think the first one had it. The first one had some type of panache that just... It seemed like we knew the characters right away, and we knew how they interacted, and it was just interesting to see them, even though they weren't fighting villains, right? This one, I don't know. It's just like there wasn't much. They did a lot of back history on the Hawkeye and the Black Widow, but. And of course, they introduced a couple new ones too. So there was that, but otherwise, the interaction wasn't all that outstanding. It wasn't like the original movie or the first movie. So if I had to give it a score from 1 to 5, I'd probably only plop that one down at about a 4. You know what? It's fun enough to watch, and you're gonna love it and be amazed. But overall. It's not a 5, and the first movie I think was probably closer to a 5, maybe like a 3.75, but it was still fun. So, anyways, go see it. Go see it on the big screen. See it on IMAX if you can. Certainly in 3D. It's just a good, fun summer movie. Kids are gonna love it, and of course the marketing is crazy behind it. So. We got a whole summer to sit through that movie and all the reviews. So, anyways,
what's funny is that you said about the two Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, the two newcomers. You do know that they were in about a year and a half ago's big blockbuster film together, actually playing husband and wife instead of brother and sister.
Which movie?
They're the two stars of Godzilla.
Oh, really?
Yes, they are.
I guess I didn't catch him. I knew she was. I guess I don't remember him.
No, he's the husband. He's
was
he's
he?
her husband.
But he was a brunette, right?
Well, no, he had his hair buzz cut because he.
Okay.
He was Brody. He was the guy from, I can't think of his name right now, Breaking Bad's son.
Well, you know, I think he's going to be an up and coming actor. He's certainly a good actor, and he's a handsome kid. And the girl too. I mean, she's an Olsen sister, and I think she already outshines her twin sisters by tenfold. So we've got that to look forward to. So, we got Chris chiming in, a expert on the Avengers. So. All right. So, anyways, that's my review. What do you got?
So. We, Zoltan and I, and a couple of members of our audience, actually, we went to the new MadP event that's going on, Unia. We will, I'm sure, put the link up in post-production.
It will be.
We had so much fun and laughed so hard, but mind you, this is a horror setting, but we made it a lot of fun.
Wait. You said horror setting, not horror setting.
Horror setting.
Right. Second Life has a lot of horror settings, so I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. No problem.
Right.
The first thing I must say is when you first get into Unia, there's the staging area, and like most MadP events, you have to buy a HUD or whatnot to actually partake in the event.
Warning, this costs money.
We're getting there.
Lots of money.
Well, there's 3 packages. There's a 400, a 750, and 1,000. The 400 is the basic thing that kind of gets you into the event and gets you the HUD. We all did the $1,000 Linden package. I honestly, I don't know what the real difference is, but it unlocks more things for you, it says.
It does. It gives you a gun and an axe, which otherwise you may not find on your own without spending the money.
Right, you have to find those in the game. It's not like you start with them. And the other big warning is when you are putting on your HUD, and it took us a while to figure this out, you have to put it on and get a confirmation allowing the HUD to teleport you to other areas. If you do not get this authorization popping up allowing it to do that, you will not be able to start the event properly. Okay.
Right. They use the new technology that allows the sim to take control of your, well, in this case, the HUD, to take complete control of your avatar. So it will animate your avatar where it's appropriately needed.
Right. And the storyline is basically you were driving along and your car hit a spike strip and you're in this weird little kind of thing, small Twin Peaks with a dash of inbreeding. And
it's true.
Yeah, and you're kind of trying to figure out what's going on, and I don't want to spoil it, but you will eventually be transported someplace else. So, and that's when the true, and I'm using quote here, adventure begins. And I will tell you, myself and one of our audience members, we started the adventure together, the true part of it, and we were laughing and squealing all the way through it for the first while.
I've progressed on my own a little bit further, and I've come to the conclusion that this is kind of like the old game Myst, if you remember that, with a Y, M-Y-S-T. Myst meets Second Life. So, I mean, there's this really cool series of problem solving, riddles one after another, and you have to kind of live these riddles through, we believe, a little dead girl's dream. Isn't that what you're getting, Lionheart?
You know what? I was getting so many different things because once I was in the real thing, I ended up getting transported again, and I was in what reminded me of the farmhouse from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films.
And, or Silent Hill.
No, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre films.
Well, no, I'm just saying the game too is it's Texas Chainsaw meets Silent Hill almost, but
yeah. And I was, with the storyline that I started following in there, it was almost very what's the word I'm looking for? Magic. Very satanic and like Lovecraftian and old ones. But I guess it's whatever your mind goes to when it goes into those, that dark room where there might be something scary and creepy and your own imagination works. I think that's what you're going to make it be. So
they tell you to turn your lights off and turn the sound up and just immerse yourself in it. It is, 1,000 lindens is a lot of money in Second Life. Trust me, I pay tier, so coming up with 1,000 lindens wasn't easy. But, for $4, you can play for countless hours. I mean, you can literally play for weeks and probably not see everything and figure everything out. So I know I'm excited to get back in and do it again. And hopefully we will soon.
Yeah, and we were looking for an end date on it, and we can't find an end date on its page, but down at the bottom it does thank you for playing and lets you know that a second part of it is coming soon. So there might be a lot more to the storyline.
Right.
So,
Well, we've had MadP people on this show, and I got to tell you, they're probably the most creative people in Second Life. They're a team of like 30, 40 people, and then they have all these fringe people. They hire voice actors to do this. They come up with their own mocap animations for their things, and the setting itself is just unbelievably gorgeous. I mean, you should see how nicely they do all of this textures and sculpting that they do. So, it is pricey, but it's worth it, I think. So, I give it a 5 out of 5 as far as Second Life reviews.
Yeah, definitely. I give it a 5 too. I loved it. I know you're not supposed to be laughing through it, but I was just enjoying myself so much. I just laughed.
Oh, and by the way, don't get frustrated at the beginning if you're not abducted right away. You just got to be patient because you will be. It's just you got to know how to get.
Yeah, and if you're not abducted, check your HUD. Try taking it off and putting it back on. We kind of figured that out the hard way after fiddling for a while. So.
That's right. All right. Well, anyways, enough of that. Let's get our our only guest tonight. If we can, please. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to be talking about the tinies in Second Life and the tiny culture. And we have a young lady here who is going to let us all know about it. So please give her a nice round of applause. Here is Karmagirl. We adjust our sitting a little bit to accommodate. Karmagirl Abro.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Good. You made it.
MadP, that's a hard act to follow. That's a great sim.
Yeah.
A lot of creative people.
I'm glad that you got across the stage and up onto the chair. I was a little worried about our physics here for you.
Oh, I did well. I didn't fall off the stage like your co-host.
He was all over the place.
He was everywhere, but yeah.
I'm just really glad that she actually is a tiny and that there are tinies in the audience that other people can see because I thought I was having an acid trip.
Yeah, see?
Flashback,
there might have been something in that water in your apartment today.
Oh,
might actually
I
water.
Yeah.
So, well, tell me a little bit about yourself, if you will, and maybe then tell us about tinies.
You want to know my real life self or about my tiny self?
Oh, I don't know how much real life you want to reveal, but we'll take anything.
Okay, well, let's do the tiny self. I am a squabbit. I'm a little bit notorious in Raglandshire. Squabbit is a squirrel and rabbit. I've hosted several events. Originally, I hosted Primtionary, which has now been changed to Prim Charades. I hosted the fashion show, not the talent show, the fashion show. We love Shocktober. I work a lot on that in The Sims. I don't know much about myself. I'm a little bit silly, kind of fun, but I don't know. I don't like to say that much about my real life self. So,
where does the idea of tinies come from? Is there an origin to this?
I think it was originally somebody named Cage Giraffe, if I'm not mistaken, made the tiny possible. And what we are is we are folded up. If you've ever seen a tiny come unfolded, if we do any of your animations, we call you biggies. Anyone that's not a tiny is a biggie. The human's form is a biggie. If we were to do a biggie animation, we would become unfolded. And Cage Giraffe was the first one that did that. And then the tiny avatars came after that. Right now, we also have, I don't know if you noticed in the audience, my best friend is out there. Hi. There's Dinkies, which is a cat, but the cool thing about the Dinkies is, even though they are smaller than I am, they can do the quote-unquote biggie animations and dances and not come unfolded because of the way they're made.
Now, Karmagirl, let me ask you, what you said unfolded.
Sure.
What does that mean? Is the avatar physics actually unfold?
Well, the thing is, with my tiny body, I'm the same size as you are, but all my limbs are folded up. So your elbows are folded in, your knees are folded in, and then I wear the avatar. So then
Okay,
if I was to do a dance, I would become unstretched if it was quote unquote a biggie dance. So we would
I see.
unfold
So
because
you're like a
normally
con-picked person.
we're sort of folded up. Yeah, I'm all tight and folded up.
So
Most
that,
people
but the
don't
folds
realize
are
that.
the folds aren't seen because would you have like alpha prims on?
Yes, we have like alpha prims on. But
I
however,
see.
if we do, because we have our own animations, we have our own clothes and our own gestures, if we do something that's not made for us, like, there's a lot of cars and vehicles in Second Life.
Hmm.
If we try, even like this chair today, I don't know if anyone noticed, but there was a booster seat. But had I sat on your chair, I'd either become unfolded or would have been buried in the chair. So it's
I
kind of
see.
interesting the way the avatars are made.
Now, this culture has stores and products that that can be purchased. Obviously, avatars and clothing, I assume.
Yes.
Is there a lot of Sims on the grid for this, or is it just is it a niche type of thing, or what?
It, it is a niche. We are a tiny, pun intended, market in Second Life. When it first started, it was everyone had tinies. It was a big fad. The first avatars that were made, just about everybody had one. And then it sort of died down. And I'm not really sure about the other communities, but our Sims, we have 7 Sims with Raglan Shire. Right now, we're having an art walk, and 4 of those Sims are participating. Now, there are some other places that are tiny, but some of them are just like a quarter Sim or what have you, and
Well, I was
nothing
going
on
to
the
ask
level
you
that we do it.
with everything being so small, I assume the houses and the vehicles and all that are small too. You wouldn't necessarily take up, a big giant sim or even a quarter sim seems big, but yet you're still using the same prim counts. Is that right?
Yes, we use the same amount of prim counts, and you'd be surprised. We fill up our sim pretty good. Actually, we have one of the most largest trees in the entire Second Life. Our great tree, Steve. If you've ever been to Heronshire, you're not going to see a tree like that anywhere else. So,
Really?
we, yeah, it's really big.
Now,
Now,
now
oh, go ahead, Lionheart.
I was going to say, you say tree. Most of your Sims, I mean, are they mini cities? Is it more woodsy? Is it more fantasies? What kind of settings are these different Sims? Or are
Well,
they all types and
well,
matters?
we have different Sims. We have some residential Sims, Athenshire, and I think what else? Athenshire, Commons. Trying to think what else in Morningshire. Those are residential. They sort of have a woods feel to them, but the residents can put any type of house they want. If they want a log cabin, they can have a log cabin. I mean, if they wanted to have something that's super modern, they can have that as well. But it's not a city. We don't live in little mushrooms or something like that. We don't live in mud huts or anything. I mean, people do have houses, but they do have the freedom to have their own houses. We have a lot of cottages, but they're not of a certain time. No, we don't not sticking to a certain theme like that. We do have some themed. We do have a theme sim, Galaxy, Raglan Galaxy. It's a sci-fi sim. It's pretty incredible. We have pods that we rent out to people, so you can be a pod person if you like.
Neat.
Oh, my.
And Raglan itself, it's not a residential sim. It is a sim for artisans to sell their tiny merchandise. We don't have what we call biggie merchandise. Everyone that rents on the Raglanshire Sim, their stores are all geared towards tinies, whether they sell tiny clothes or tiny hair or tiny gestures or tiny vehicles. Everything we have is geared towards tinies because you can get biggie stuff anywhere, but you can only, we only want tiny items on our sim. We don't want, biggie dresses and things that we can't wear because why
Now,
would we have that?
can anybody go to one of these Sims, or do you have to be a tiny to get in?
Oh no, you can absolutely be anything you want to be in Raglanshire. We're all inclusive. We let anyone come to our Sims. This is why we are called the Friends of Raglanshire is our group. We don't call it the Raglanshire Tinies or the Land of Tinies, or we don't have any signs that say, you must be this small to attend. It's the Friends. Anyone that's a friend of a
Okay.
tiny could come. You could be anything you want, although we do have a tiny avatar that you could try out for free at the Welcome Center. We have a lot of freebies there, some clothes. And you try it out, but you don't have to. We have big, huge dragons that would basically fill the size of this stage here and probably this whole studio come to the Shire as well. It's just as long as they're mindful of tinies, not to step on them or push on them. We allow anyone.
Well, that's what that leads me to my next question, and I suppose this might open a can of worms, but do you guys find that you get picked on because of your size? I mean, is there prejudices against tinies?
There's some Sims that are very serious. They don't want child avatars. They don't want basically anything that doesn't look realistic, like a human. They just only want human avatars. And I don't think I'd want to be in those places anyhow because they just seem so uptight and serious. Because you come to Second Life, you could be anything you want. Why would you be a human, in my mind? Because, I just feel like I could be anything. I could be a dragon. I could be a fairy. I could be an animal. I could be
Sure.
and there's even animals in here that look more like an animal. I'm a biped. I walk on 2 feet, but there's animals that actually look like a cat or a dog or a wolf. And I just think like, we have such creative things that you could be anything. So why limit yourself?
Well, I think that's demonstrated with the Lindens making the avatar selection for people that log on for the first time. They can choose from, I believe, I don't know about animals, but I know there's robots and things like that.
Yes.
Do they offer animal or tiny avatars for newbies?
I'm not really
I'm trying
sure
to see
on
if I
that.
can find right now. I don't think they
I'm not
do,
really
but
sure. I mean, we do have
yeah.
a robot in our
Right,
shire. I mean,
right.
it should just be anything though. It's kind of fun.
Well, I've noticed that most of the tiny seem to be small, cute animals. Is that the theme, or can a tiny be anything? Like,
Well,
I
one
don't
of
know,
the
like an
original.
ugly toad or something like that.
Sure, they could be a troll, they could be a toad. We have robots, we have all kind of tiny things. We have people that make their own avatars now and they sell their own, but a lot of us do like animals. So a lot of us have the animal avatars, something that we just sort of gravitate.
Sure. Is there any connection between the tinies and the furries, which is another culture in Second Life?
That's a little bit of a different community. They're full size, but they're furries, but they're also linked to people who dress in real life in the costumes, like a
I
full
see.
fursuit. We don't dress up
Right.
in real life as anything other than our real life stuff, and then we just come
Right.
in here and we sort of let our inner children out. We're not very sexual. I know that there is some of that in the furry community. There's things called like Yiffy, which we don't do any of that in Raglan because we are a PG sim and we try to keep the fun PG.
Sure.
Sometimes when I'm around, it gets middle over PG, maybe Tiny's After Dark, PG-13. But otherwise, anyone can come to our sim. Just so long as
Does it
they're not
actually
naked.
is it actually called Tiny's After Dark?
Yeah, we have these things called random dance parties, and at some point somebody said it's Tiny's After Dark. Like if one of us would
Nice.
happen to say something not PG,
Oh my God.
Copper's like
It's time
Tiny's
for
After
Tiny's
Dark.
After
See, there's a
Dark.
gesture they're doing right now.
I
Yeah,
see.
when it starts to get late in the Shire, we get a little punchy. Some of us will forget
Who
our place,
doesn't?
and okay, well, they kind of put me in charge of things, and I'm usually the first one to corrupt everyone else. If not, let the bad words, slip out. I mean, we try not to be too mean to people when that happens, but maybe it's PG-13 sometimes. But we try to keep it PG because of the Linden Labs, designations of what a sim is.
Sure. Well, the thing is about Second Life, it's all about the fun, and you hit it right on the head when you said that, let's get on here and do whatever you want, because we have so little freedom in real life that here in virtual worlds we should have total freedom as long as we're
Right.
not, stepping on or hurting each other, and no pun intended there. But I think that any culture is if a group of people are all into it and they enjoy each other's company, why not? I mean, that's my liberal opinion. But is there criticism out there for this, or do you
For
think
what
that
we do, or for our avatars? Some people think we're child avatars. We're not. We're not children. Most of us don't role play or baby talk. We're just very creative people that like our sims that are whimsical. We like like-minded people that want to have fun and just be helpful and friendly. And we want to let the magic happen, is what I said the other day.
that's cool?
And
That's cool.
that's part of like right now we're having a big event which I have to plug. We're having the art walk. It is a
Yeah,
sim
I was going to say, plug
multi-sim
the art
event.
walk.
Yes, I have to, absolutely, because I am running the art walk this year. It's
Sure.
a 4-sim event, and it is open to anyone. We have over 140 artists from across the grid, and that's the most we've ever had. The great thing about it is you don't have to rent a store. It'd be great if people did, but you don't have to rent. You don't have to pay for it. You can even sell the art that you show there, and it's just a great thing to have, and it's part of what we do is we want creativity.
How do you harness the chaos if people can just show up and
Well,
sell what they want?
Well, it has to be PG, and if anything isn't, I run a tight ship over there. The
Okay.
Chinese will tell you I'm a paw chopper, notorious for my paw chopping. You have to register. The registration is already closed, but the art walk runs from Sunday, May 3rd, which has already started, to the last Sunday of the month, which is May 31st. We have several events. We have an opera singer coming in. We have a poetry and musician coming in. A lot of different events. We have a kite parade. Any of these events will be online, raglandshire.com/events, if you want to check us out.
We'll put
Just
that
come
in
browse the
post-production,
Sims.
folks.
Yes, put that in post-production. But there's just so much creativity. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be creative and express ourselves within the PG sim and keeping it PG. So the art is PG, but it's amazing that there's real life art as well as Second Life art. We have
Oh, right.
3 sims that have sculptures, and the one main sim has the 2D art. The 2D art would be real life photography, Second Life photography, digital art, and real life paintings that people have taken pictures of and uploaded. So it's a great event. It's one of our biggest events,
That's
Jill. So I'm
cool.
very
How
proud
many
of
years
it.
is this? How many years now?
Well, see, this is the thing. This is our 8th year in Second Life, Raglan Shire, but this is our 10th art walk because the very first year we had 2, so that's how the math goes. This is the big 10 for us, art walk 10.
Nice. Very, very
Yep.
nice. And if people aren't aware of it, those that may not be on Second Life, it is really a place for artists to gather. As she mentioned, both in world you can create art, but a lot of people bring their real life art into Second Life and put them in exhibitions or museums here, and you can see stuff that you would never see in real life just from all around the world. So I'm assuming that this art walk would be similar to that.
Yes, it's everyone from around the world. It's amazing. And even just the tiny community itself, we have people from all around the world, all different time zones. So it's actually an amazing things.
It really
I've met a
is.
lot of friends. I've made a lot of friends. It's a great community. I think it's one of the longest going communities in Second Life. I mean, there's a lot of places that are around 5, 6 years, but we're actually a community. We're like a big family.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And it's great to be a part of that too. I mean, you just meet people and they become friends and eventually maybe even real life friends.
Oh, I think I've met over a dozen people in real life, and there's still
Nice.
people that I haven't met that, they're on my list. I have to meet this person. I want to meet
Sure.
this person. But it's really a great thing to be a part of. So I'm very proud to be part of it, and I'm proud to take over the art walk this year. And even when we aren't doing art work, we have so many great events throughout the year. We have a weekly poetry slam. I know one of the hosts is here, Copper. We have Prim Charades. We have that twice a week. We have different musicians that come in. Some are regular, like Songbird is one of our tiny musicians. She's a singer. She comes in. She's in our audience tonight too.
Yes.
And we just have so many people that they help out. They participate. And it's a great thing to be a part of.
I see that a lot of our audience is wondering why we're being so nice. Well, when we have guests on, we're polite and respectful, and Karmagirl has been very nice too. So if she was not, you would see the angry and ornery part. But generally, we're angry and ornery when we're doing reviews, or when Lionheart flies around the studio like he's a moron.
Sorry.
So that's
lag.
why the angry and ornery. When somebody actually first came to me and asked if I want to be on the show, I'm like, is that a joke, angry and ornery? Are you trying to say I'm angry and ornery?
Yes.
No, it's us, and we won't ever tell who is what, and perhaps we're both, but I'll let the audience all figure that out. Anyways, it's been a delight to have you on our show, and
Thank you.
if you want to know any more about this organization and this culture, again, log into Second Life, and all of the links will be on this video, so look for it on YouTube, and you too can discover what the Tinies are all about. So let's give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
I am going to come over here. Hopefully I don't run into things. Lionheart, you can come over here too. I just want to remind you folks that you can get the people in the studio here in Second Life can get all the links to your right. You'll see the live stream link, the YouTube link. And our biographies are up there too. Lionheart has not put his up yet. We're working on him. He's just lazy and slow, but we'll get his up there eventually. But anyways, look for us in Second Life. Also look for us on live stream every other Wednesday. So in 2 weeks, we'll be filming, I believe, our 4th show. And I think, Lionheart, you need to be on the stage because it looks like the camera's shooting right through your head.
That's as far as I can move. It's not letting me move at all.
Oh, look at you. All right. Maybe we got some lag issues.
Well,
Yep.
But anyways.
river dance.
Oh, maybe so. This video will be on YouTube, so check it out on the Angry and Ornery channel there. Just type in Angry and Ornery, you'll find it. Anyways, thank you very much, everybody, for showing up tonight, and hopefully we will see you again in a couple of weeks. Good night, and we'll see you in the movies.
Have a good night.